Alright, Commence the Spooks. This game is very much in the vein of, say, Shadowgate or Uninvited. It's also funny, it's got a bit of a tie-in with the other UFO 50 games. We've been kicked out of the game of Party House to start this off. Anyway, let's get going. Now, I will not be using my head here. My brain is getting a day off today. It will be up to you, chat, to tell us what to do here. Obviously, if you already know the games and solutions, then keep your mouth shut. But to those who want to make suggestions, say it, we'll do it. Scenes of horror and dread. Nobody does it quite like Resident Evil. Yeah, that's right, Safid. After I said it wouldn't be back. Did I say that? Where am I? You mutter as you wake up in a strange room. The last thing you remember is driving your car. Then you hit something in the road. Disoriented, you try to make some sense of your new surroundings. So we can look around the place. God, feels weird using a D-pad to move a cursor around with this. Feels very late 80s, early 90s. But we can look and we can interact. And we have an inventory, which is admittedly empty right now. But it is up to you, chat, to decide what we do. Me, I refuse to think. Of course, I'll only do things if you tell me to. And at times, that might include run like hell. Can you take the heroin spoon, says Starchy. Let's do just that. We take the spoon. Is this the famous Jake I've heard so much about? Famous, that'll be the day. Well, we have spoon. Otherwise, we're in this room. What do we look at? Can you scoop up the blood from the mattress? Use spoon on mattress. You use the spoon, but nothing happens. Oh god, the game's got no music at this point. No music always makes me nervous, especially when I have no agency in the matter. Can we use a spoon to open the grate? Use the spoon on the grate? Ah, there we go. Use the spoon to pry the vent cover off with ease. Bear in mind, we can also look at things with the eye. Is that money? I don't know. What is it? Inside the vent, there is a yellowed piece of paper, folded and held together with a hairpin. Can you unscrew the light bulb, can we? A single bulb casts a yellowish light across the room. It flickers as though it could go out at any moment. Use spoon on light bulb. Nothing happens. You fool, Starchy. Bah. What uses paper, unless it's also money? What's the deal with the roof hatch? What appears to be a closed trapdoor is in the ceiling just out of reach. Zynga says, surely we take the gold coins, maybe? You take the folded piece of paper and the hairpin, holding it together. We now appear to have a hairpin and this piece of paper. Could we take the bowl, says Dirk. An empty ceramic bowl smells like old dog food. You take the bowl. Still smells of dog food. Did you enjoy the last Higgins game? You mean in the snooker? I always enjoy some good snooker. And it's sad to see Higgins go down. Hopefully he can still squeeze out some damn good matches. Surely we could use the hairpin to unlock the door. We haven't even tried opening the door and you want to try unlocking it? Very well. Use hairpin on door. You stick the hairpin into the lock, wiggle it around. It becomes stuck, but we hear the lock click open. Door is now unlocked. What is the poo stain on the bed? You shudder at the realization that you were curled up on this ragged mattress just moments ago. Have you read the note? I have not, for I have not been instructed to read the note. It is up to you, chat, to guide our player to safety. Can you look at the yellow paper, says Reg? I'll do just that. Lost his mind. Why? Explosive has no time for this note. They say, go through. Very well. And thankfully we get some music for it. A hallway stretches out before you with a staircase at the end. Pale moonlight shines in from a door to your left. Enter the mushroom door, says Stacy. The doorknob turns, but the door won't budge. Something must be blocking it from the other side. The wood of this door appears to be infested with some kind of fungus. There are mushrooms growing out of it. I vote take one of the magic mushrooms and eat it. I'm afraid we are not able to take the mushrooms. Not at all. Let's take a look at the fingernail scratches, points out Starchy. Small and dingy storage room has been repurposed as a holding cell. Years of dirt and grime cling to the walls. That's all we have to say on the matter. Use the spoon on mushroom door, says Calmist, keeping his calm about him, but it does not do anything for us. Dig your way out with the spoon. I'm afraid nothing happens. Should we fill the bowl with the dirt from the room? You wish to fill this bowl with the dirt? I'm afraid nothing happens. May we examine the small drawer in the entryway table? We certainly may. A decorative stand with a false drawer. On top is a framed photograph of 2 children. What's in the drawer? There is no way to open the stand. What looks like a drawer is just a decorative knob. Clearly we should go through the green door, says Warble. Through we go. This simple tile-floored bathroom is fairly clean despite the clawing smell of mildew hanging in the air. What's behind the toilet? Asks Explosive. What indeed? What is this? Slimy black sludge clings to the inside of this otherwise ordinary toilet. Starchy wants to peep inside the curtains. You pull the shower curtain away and reveal a shocking sight. Mummified corpse in the tub. It is encrusted with mold and fungi. Ew. Take the ring off of the mummy, says Rainey. There is an ornate insignia ring on the mummy's finger. As try as you might, you have no success in removing the ring that's seemingly fused to the corpse's finger. I hope you're taking notes, everyone. This is a point and click we're going to have to deal with. Stick the bowl in the toilet and have a drink. Very well. You gag at the thought. Use the spoon to separate the finger from the hand, says Explosive. You use the spoon, but nothing happens. It's not good enough to pry it off, it seems. Get the sludge in the bowl. Use the sludge to remove the ring. It appears we cannot take the sludge out of the toilet. From the sink, suggests Zingus. We still gag at the very thought. The sink is nearly overflowing with putrid brown water. Is the mirror a medicine cabinet? Does it open? Let's see. The mirror on the front of the medicine cabinet betrays your tired reflection. You open the medicine cabinet, and inside you find a pair of tweezers. a pair of small metal tweezers. Rainey wishes to dislodge the ring using the tweezers. The edge of the tweezers keeps slipping off the hand of the mummy. It's hard to find a good angle. We will have to find another way. Fish in the sink with the tweezers, says Red. Let's get fishing. You really don't want to put your hand in that foul water. Can the shower head be clicked on? Let's have a look. Nope, the shower head and the bath in general just takes us over to the mummy. I think we've exhausted this room. Let us move away. Chat is the entire agency here, Demon. I'm not doing thinking. Today is a no-brain day for Jake. Chat is the one playing. I am simply actioning. Let's go back and explore the rest of the corridor, says Gelbug. Starchy wishes to head up the stairs. A locked gate at the top of the stairs is blocking the way. You're having trouble working the latch from this side. The stairway is a no-go. The third door on the right says explosives. Let's see. An unassuming wooden door. It is closed. The bedroom appears to have common amenities, but nothing too specific, indicating that it is possibly a guest room. Can we tweezer the drawer open? No, it was just a decorative knob. It does not open. What is on the bed? Wait, what's that? You take journal entry number 2. May 27th, 1987. Things have been tense with Cheryl since losing my job with the firm. I had to calmly explain to her that our financial situation is not in jeopardy, and she can continue working on her fashion design without having to worry about anything. I'm still pretty irritated, so I think I'm going to try a cup of that relaxation tea now. What could it all mean? What's in the closet? Poses Rainey. A tall wooden closet stands against the wall. You open the standing closet. A single hook is hanging on the otherwise empty rack. Can you check under the bed? An ordinary queen-size bed with sheets laid neatly on top. Please grab the hook. You take the hook. A simple yet sturdy metal hook of about 4 inches long. You hope that the reddish-brown stains at the tip are only rust. What's in the box on the vanity? A small, ornate jewelry box sits here. It is closed, and there is a silver oval-shaped lock on the front. You try to open the jewelry box, but it seems to be locked. What is that thing behind the blue dresser? Bedroom appears to have common amenities, but nothing we can really note unless you mean this, in which case a simple waste bucket full of crumpled up tissue soiled with who knows what. The drawers on the vanity? There are several drawers in the vanity set. Buried among the towels and clothing in drawer, you find some batteries that might come in handy. A pair of D batteries. It's impossible to tell if they're holding a charge or not. The lamp looks interactable, says Zingus. A simple table lamp sits atop the nightstand. The bulb inside is blackened and burnt out. You turn on the switch, but the lamp stays off. Oval equals spoon. Use spoon on jewelry box. Everlasting sheet. Brings us to a dead end. You use the spoon on jewelry box, but nothing happens. start, she wishes to use the hook on the mummy ring. You use the hook on it, but nothing happens. You are out of luck. The nightstand drawers poses explosive. You open the drawers and notice various reading materials. Among them is a page that looks like it was torn out of a journal. August 2nd. I've spent the past few days sick in bed with some kind of flu, headaches, nausea, etc. Today I was finally able to hold down some solid food. Funnily enough, my symptoms seemed to disappear the moment I had some of the tea that my therapist gave me. She didn't mention anything about it being a flu cure. I'd like to believe that it helped. The ceiling of the nice room. Click on the light at the top. An ordinary ceiling lamp. It is turned off. You don't see any way of turning it on. It is out of reach. There's no sign of any way to turn it on or off. Can we look out the window? Pale moonlight shines through the windows, casting dim, somber light throughout the room. Can we grab some of the tissues from the bin? Maybe they'll help us. Searching through the trash yields nothing interesting, and now your hands feel sticky. The tweezers do not aid matters. Could we hook the ceiling latch in the first room? Now she's trying to put pieces together. That's what we like to see. Use the hook on the latch. You use the hook, but nothing happens. It is just out of reach. And to sate that curiosity, Zingus, no, nothing happens with the decorative desk. Jump higher, you lazy bum. She was just in a car crash. We didn't look at the plant in the bedroom, says Explosive. No, we did not. A decorative houseplant died some time ago. Leaves that remain clung to it are dry and brittle. Dead leaves fall to the ground the moment you touch the plant. Your search through this plant reveals nothing. Check the left door in the hallway, says Bourne. This spacious living room might have been a cozy place to relax if you'd come to this house on better terms. We have tried and failed to grab the tasty-looking mushrooms, Slime Dragon. Paper on the table, says Rainy. What have we here? Wait, what's that? Journal entry number 1. Where does it all start? My therapist suggested that I keep a journal to write down anything that causes me stress, whether it's a minor annoyance or a major one. She said it would be an excellent tool that I'd find manage daily stressors. She also sent me home with a tea that is said to promote relaxation. What do I have to lose? Here's my first journal entry. May 25th. Everlasting Sheep wants to fish in the sink with the hook. Well aware that we have a sink full of nasty putrid water. The hook does not help. The hook is too big to fit down the drain. An implication that something else is needed for that drain. What's on the fireplace mantle? A box of wooden strike anywhere matches. We're long dark now. You take the matches. There also appears to be a portrait of a couple and their children. They seem happy. How quaint. Anything good on TV? Asks Explosive. A large television encased in a sturdy wooden cabinet sits here. Turning on the TV briefly eliminates the room with a hissing static screen before the TV flashes with a pop and goes back off. Light the fireplace. Inside the fireplace is a football-shaped object wrapped in cloth and tied together with some cord. You try to light the object in the fireplace, But the flame just goes out. Maybe if there was a way to make it more flammable. And yes, we did. The tweezers were insufficient for the sink, Agaris. That said, maybe I didn't click right. Nope. We really don't want to put our hands in. Those tweezers do not have the reach we're looking for. Check what's in the fireplace first before lighting it on fire. It's too big and heavy to be carried around, whatever it is. What's in that door? A thick layer of vines push up against the other side of this sliding glass door. They've jammed it shut. On the right doorway, the ceiling of this expansive foyer reaches all the way up to the second floor of the house, with the twin staircases leading there. Is this Resident Evil? What a mansion. What's the time? An antique grandfather clock stands frozen in time. There's a small hole in the face of the clock. You run your hands along the grandfather clock, but aside from a small hole in the front, you find nothing. Use the spoon in the clock. You use the spoon, but nothing happens. No, Catty, it's just the ring on the finger fused together. Use the tweezers on the hole. Hook the clock. Nothing happens. Look at the broken railing. The second floor of the upper landing is incredibly dark. It is impossible to see anything on the second floor. What's on the bench in the middle? A bench and an end table with a small plant decorate this little nook. The doorway is completely jammed with bags of garbage and broken furniture. The smell is terrible. Use the spoon to dig through the rubble. You use the spoon, but nothing happens. What's over to the right? Asks Starchy. This takes us back into the living room we were in before. Left the foyer. Off we go. A fine wooden table surrounded by 6 chairs at the center of this lavish dining room. Yeah, it's rare, but it happens, Jeebus. That said, it's quite colonial unfriendly since it's a lovely moody evening for us here in Europe. I imagine it's late morning, early afternoon for you over there. Invade the privacy of the diary. Journal entry number 4, get. Today I was in the sunroom enjoying a cup of that tea. It has a unique musky aroma. It's really starting to grow on me. Sadly, my piece ended when I noticed that the kids had gotten handprints all over the glass. We can only afford to have the housekeeper here once a week now, so I guess I'm the one stuck cleaning it up. Take the candelabra. We have no use for the candelabra. Take it and see upstairs by lighting the candelabra, says Rainy. What an idea. Use matches on the candelabra. The flames of the candles go out the moment the candelabras move. Turns out it's not very useful as a source of light. Those paintings look like a code we'll need later. What appears to be a modern art is faintly visible through the darkness. We have a triangle, circle, a triangle, and 2 circles. Can someone please be taking notes? Right you are, Orlov. Is there anything under the rug? A fine wooden table surrounded by 6 chairs is at the center of this lavish dining room. The rug, is of no importance. The table has been set with a fancy cloth. You imagine how many wonderful meals were once enjoyed here. Can we look in the cupboard? An intricate ornamental egg sits among the fine dinnerware, behind the thick glass of this fancy wooden china cabinet. It is tightly sealed. We don't even see a way of opening it. Can we light the candles again? Done like dinner. The painting's changed. What could it mean? Smash it with the hook. You use the hook on the china cabinet, but nothing happens. Use the hook on a candelabra, nothing happens. Can we steal the light bulbs? The lamp is out of reach, and there's no sign of any way to turn it on or off. It's a very nice hanging lamp with several bulbs. They seem to have burnt out long ago. Let us try the door on the right, says Starchy. As you step into the kitchen, the first thing you notice is the foul smell, but then you realize there's someone else here with you. Click on person, says Real Decoy. A large figure is hunched over and standing in the corner of the kitchen. You say hello, but you receive no response. You touch the person's shoulder gently. He turns around suddenly, raising a very large cleaver in his hand. You begin to tremble in fear. I'm being instructed to run by ACAB. Run we shall. The masked figure suddenly appears in front of you. You begin quaking with fear. With your heart pounding in your chest, you duck behind the curtains and cover your mouth, hoping to hide. Now we get Resident Evil Gaiden mechanics here. I am not handing it over to chat to manage this timing puzzle, that's for sure. After what feels like an eternity, you hear them turn around and leave. Despite your fear, you survived. Yeah, the cursor trembles, so maneuvering it is a little bit tricky. We find ourselves back in the not-quite-so-maniac mansion kitchen. Yeah, I've had a lifetime of practice there, everlasting sheep. Take the knife, says Demon. The edge of the kitchen knife still looks very sharp despite its scratches and stains. You take the knife. The surface of the countertop is dirty and littered with what appears to be dried blood, human hair, and pieces of rotten flesh. The fridge note? Journal entry number 7, get. August 15th, today I was outside enjoying my tea when one of the landscapers bumped into my cup and spilled it on the ground. To my surprise, Baxter ran over, started licking up the puddle immediately. Instead of being mad, I just laughed. Who knew dogs liked tea? Brew yourself a well-earned cuppa. If only we could find something to brew. Can we use the bowl to get some flesh for a late-night snack? You use the bowl, but nothing happens. Despite your efforts, nothing happens. It seems we cannot interact with the massive goo. Any snakes in the fridge? There's a large white refrigerator here. It is filled with cans of dog food and rotting meat. You close the door before the smell can reach your nose. The freezer's contents are sealed in with a block of solid ice. The house is already quite cold. You should shut the door. Can we leave the mansion? Asks Acab. The way out was blocked with garbage. Check the bin. A kitchen waste bin with a metallic finish. As soon as you open the lid, you regret it. The rotting stench inside is enough to make your eyes water. Since people are getting at it, we'll just check all the cupboards around here. Looking through the cabinets, there's common dinnerware, plates, cups, glasses. Nothing in particular seems useful. Nothing looks useful. Nothing looks useful. Nothing looks useful. You open the oven door. The charred remains of a turkey. At least we hope that's what it is. There's an empty jar of Moldok tea that smells pungent. We decide to leave it there. We did, however, find a large bottle of drain cleaner that we take. We're now an owner of a plastic bottle half full of maximum strength drain cleaner capable of dissolving the toughest clogs, at least according to the label. Try to get the ring with the knife. Also unclog the sink. A couple of ideas coming in. Let's give them a go. Sorry, I arrived 10 minutes late. Why are we in the mansion and why are we not running away? We're trying to. We got into a car crash. We awoke in this mansion. But there's a spooky guy chasing after us. Also, the curtains have been torn. So the disgusting mummy. Use knife on finger. The edge of the knife keeps slipping off the hand of the mummy. It's hard to find a good angle. We'll have to find another way. The clogger, however. Moments later, the foul water is sucked down the drain. With the sink now empty, you notice something shiny caught in the drain. You try to take the shiny object out of the drain, but your fingers are just too big. Explosive wants us to get tweezing, as does Decoy Demon and Dark Young. Hash as well, but they were too late to recognize. Using tweezers, you adroitly pluck a silver key from the drain, but you lose the tweezers down the drain in the process. A small silver key with a round stem. It looks like it would fit a small lock. Back to the vanity box, says Starchy. As a good, well-remembered, we have a small ornate jewelry box. There's a silver oval-shaped silver lock, you say. Pop that bad boy open. The silver key fits perfectly. It opens with a click and inside is a single brass key. You take the brass key. Cylindrical key with a flat handle. It forms two opposing loops. Looks like a type of key used to wind up something. Brass key on grandfather clock suggests explosive. There's rapid progress here. You insert the brass key into the clock's face and turn it to a series of satisfying clicks. The clock chimes briefly, but makes an unusual grinding sound, followed by a loud snap. Something drops and rolls out. Slightly tarnished cog rolled out. You take the gear. Oh dear. The masked figure is here. What should we do, chat? Aside from quaking with fear from his terrifying presence. Knife him. Duel him with the knife. Yes, let us do just that. You strike him with the knife. Your attack causes him to stumble, but only briefly. He was ready for your attack. He swats your weapon away easily with the cleaver. Accept our demise and ask him for some tea. I think ACAB has the idea with run. Oh, maybe it is accept our demise. As intense pain consumes you, you wonder what you did to deserve such a horrible end. You fall to the ground in a pool of blood. And then wake up in a cold sweat. You run your hands over your body, feeling nothing. Was it just a nightmare? Very forgiving for a 1988 game, says Zingus. Yeah, you'd expect to start over from scratch, wouldn't you? Reset game and start all over. Do we still have the gear? We still have everything. See, it's all gone. Yeah, he was even kind enough to give us back our knife. Maybe it really all was just a dream. Alright, what to do now, chat? Hope you're out there taking notes and puzzling hard, because me, I'm keeping my brain thoroughly off. Use the cog on the clock. You use the gear in the grandfather clock, but nothing happens. What is to the left again, asks Starchy. This takes us through to the candle room, and beyond there, the kitchen. There was another door in the kitchen. There were indeed two. And the one to the left brings us through to some kind of garage. The air in this dusty garage is a bouquet of mildew and motor oil. A single light bulb casts the room in a yellow glow. Let us grab the flashlight. When you try to turn on the flashlight, nothing happens. You aren't sure if it needs new batteries or the bulb has burnt out, but we take the flashlight. And while we're at it, take the oil can. Take the note on the wall as well. Journal entry number 8. Baxter has been vomiting to the point of dry heaving all day. He won't eat or drink anything. The kids are very upset, and Cheryl won't stop blaming me because she thinks it was my tea that made him sick. Unbelievable. Unfortunately, our personal vet is out of town, and all the others are closed, so we'll have to wait until tomorrow morning. Insert the batteries, says the real decoy. Use batteries on flashlight. You put the batteries in, try turning it on. To your delight, the flashlight shines brightly. Take the car and beans it. You give the car door handle a yank, but unfortunately, it is locked. Open the box behind the car. A large metal box has been turned brown from oxidation sits here. It's covered in rust and dust. Try to break the car's glass. You use the knife on the car door, but nothing happens. You use the hook on the car door, and nothing happens. Oil up the box, says Sundell. The oil dissolves the rust and the box springs open. Inside is a red gas can and a crowbar. You take both. Curved steel bar that's flattened at each end for prying. There's the red plastic container used to hold gasoline, and there's a small amount left. Crowbar the car. Use the crowbar in the car door, nothing happens. What's that shiny thing on the left over the cabinet? Asks ACAB, someone who's paying a dangerous amount of attention. There's a roll of duct tape and it hasn't lost its adhesive power. You take the duct tape. Use the red gas to burn the mysterious package. Again, someone paying attention. We spotted a mysterious package earlier. Use the gas can on the object in the fireplace. The object immediately bursts into flames. After a few minutes of burning, it's reduced to a pile of ash. Something sparkles in the pile of ashes left. It's a brilliant red gemstone. A ruby, and it's all ours. A brilliant red gemstone. It feels warm to the touch. No kidding. It was on fire. Duct tape, the crowbar, and the hook. Oh dear, the masked figure has suddenly appeared right in front of us, and we're quaking with fear in his terrifying presence. Where should we run to, chat? If indeed we should run at all. El Emperador wants us to crowbar that son of a gun and tape him up. Come to me, crowbar. Oh god, the mouse, it barely moves. You strike him with the crowbar. Your attack causes him to stumble, but only briefly. Alright, if that's the case, I'm beansing it. Bye-bye. Somebody says upstairs with the flashlight. It's the real decoy. Oh, there's no time for that. Is he still after me? He's gonna eat some crowbar if he is. He doesn't seem to be coming for us now. I think we're A-okay then. Somewhere with curtains. No curtains here. Oh, well, there are, but we don't seem to be able to use them. Where are we gonna go, chat? We're running out of options, and he's probably, possibly, hot on our tail. Although, come to think of it, he's slowed down quite a bit after the striking. Oh, God. Get mulched, man. Oh, no, he was ready. Seems you can only stun him once. An intense pain consumes you. What did you do to deserve such a horrible end? And then wake up in a cold sweat. Was it all just a nightmare? Looks like we could do with a shotgun. Well, you see a shotgun, you let me know. The smell of chlorine hangs faintly in the cool, wet air. And I suddenly remembered that I was told to duct tape the crowbar. Nope, nothing happens. Duct tape the hook. You wrap a long piece of tape around the hook, leaving part of it dangling free so it can be attached to something else. Who had this brilliant idea? I think it was Decoy. Unfortunately, nothing happens. Can we take the light bulb from the garage, or are we incapable of standing on things? Despite your efforts, nothing happens. Seems we cannot. Construct the knife hook. I think we just used up all the duct tape already. There's now duct tape fastened to the hook, making it possible to attach to something. A gorgeous aesthetic here. Take a dip in the nice pool, suggests Orlov. The placid surface of the pool's black water reflects the cloudy moonlight sky like a mirror. It's a very cold night, and you'd rather not jump into the water right now. What is that floating in the pool? Asks the sheep. There's a greenish hump floating in the center of the pool. Just out of arm's reach, it is too far away to reach. Can we look to the right? We can indeed. We could even go to the right. The backyard continues in this direction, under the full moon breaking through the clouds. 4 stone lion statues, mottled with moss and lichens, stand like sentinels in the front of a dark, foreboding gate of oxidized copper. A lion statue with a mouth agape, as if waiting to be fed. On the base is inscribed, "On spring green fields the children play. The red-hot sun will warm the day. When yellow leaves begin to fall, the white wind comes to take it all." Decoy wishes to feed the second one the ruby. You insert the ruby, it fits perfectly. There's a tall black metal gate looming over you, preventing you from entering the area beyond. We are able to move to the right and back from whence we came to the left. Crowbar the gate, just in case. You use the crowbar on the metal gate, but nothing happens. Flappy milk bags wants us to move right. In the stillness of the night, small critters can be heard rustling through the overgrown grass of this unkempt backyard. Can move back the way we came and proceed further on. Can you smash the light bulb with a crowbar? I believe not. There was a line in the game Discworld Noir where it says, if I'm ever going to make progress, I have to stop trying to use the crowbar on every single thing. Etchies wishes to check the shed. There's a basic wooden door with a tarnished copper lock. We tried turning the knob, but as you feared, it is locked. There is not enough space between the door and its frame for you to pry it open. The small dirty windows do not afford the view of the inside. Check the lawnmower man. The rusty old lawnmower sits half buried in the overgrown grass. It is held on firmly with bolts. Any part that might be useful is too secured. What are the items next to the shed? There appears to be nothing of note around the shed. Examine the hatch. This old bulkhead door, weathered but still sturdy enough to keep you out. A heavy iron padlock is keeping it locked. Crowbar the lock. You try to pry the lock off, but it doesn't budge. You smash it with a crowbar and it still does not yield. I'm ready to head upstairs with a flashlight when we're done out here, says Decoy. Very well. But there's a bit more going on. The side area of the house is comparatively smaller than the backyard. Looks like it once used as a flower garden. Damn locks doing what they're supposed to do, indeed. To be a oh, Christ! The masked figure suddenly appears in front of you. You begin quaking with fear. It is terrifying presence, right? We are gonzo. To the curtains. Well, he actually slashed all the curtains away. Even so, we regain our composure. Perhaps we managed to lose him. Decoy wants to know what's going on upstairs. And we light it all up. The layout is always similar to the one on the first floor, except for the total darkness. You'd best watch your step. Very limited visibility, so I'll be doing the exploring here. Unassuming wooden door. Paintings, more doors. A dusty wooden staircase leading up into the attic. A ceiling lamp that we cannot seem to turn on. 2 doors to the left. Of course, there's a map in the bottom right, if you want to check that out. There's a closed gate, but it's only locked with a simple sliding latch on this side. Let's just crack that one open. Let's start with the front, says explosive. Well, this takes us back down here. You'll recall that this staircase was blocked off previously. Now it is not. Might be useful in giving a slip to Tall, Dark, and Ugly. Left door says explosive. Left door just takes us out. Gosh, the layout here is a touch confusing, isn't it? Posters and small identical beds indicate that this is a bedroom for 2 young children. Ugh, I had a shared bedroom with my 2 brothers once upon a time. Grim times. Plenty going on around here, starting with dirty wooden boards nailed across the windows, preventing any moonlight from getting in. There's a stuffed bear with a missing eye. A finely crafted music box standing out amongst all the other toys in the room. Twin beds, a small wooden dresser. A nondescript lamp that won't turn on. Peering inside a dollhouse, we can see what looks like writing on one of the walls, but it is too small to read. There's also a light switch, but it does not bring the place to life. There is also journal entry 13. Worst fight with a wife in a long time. Yesterday the kids were playing in the yard where the dog was buried. Today they're very sick. The wife blames me, saying I should have taken care of the stuff that was growing under the tree, and that it made them sick. I know that tea will help them, so I'll make some for them to drink. Can we see our whole inventory? Certainly. We have a spoon, a note, a cog, a bowl, journal entries, a hook with duct tape on it, a rusty old knife, a flashlight, some oil, and a crowbar. I think somebody was trying to tell me to pry the music box open, probably with a crowbar. But it's not happening. It's been said before, but I'll join the call. Exhume the dog with the spoon. Ironclad uses exhume. Is it super effective? Yeah, those are the curtains that are now knackered. Gosh, quite the jaunt to get back here. The ground here is bare, in contrast to the thick grass that covers the rest of the lawn. Let's get digging. You use the spoon on a dirt patch, but nothing happens. There's a tree that hasn't been tended to in a long time. There's a large thing wrapped in cloth hanging from the balcony above, and overgrown vines covering the glass walls of this sunroom, which we can indeed enter. The plants that once decorated the sunroom have grown to cover almost every interior surface. The aroma of vegetation is overwhelming. Use the oil on the mummy finger, let that ring slide away, but also read the diary. It is Dev Diary number 9. Baxter did not make it through the night. I just finished burying him under the cherry tree, his favorite spot to sleep. Charlie and Becky are beside themselves with sadness. Surely there must be a spade around here. One can only hope, Blubbery. In the shed, maybe. The shed is locked. We have no keys and the crowbar wouldn't work. There's a sliding glass door, but vines are covering it. Well, What's that green thing covered in vines? There's a large metal container of some sort, but it is completely covered in vines. Knife the vines, suggests Floppy. You can't find a good angle with a knife to cut through the vines. For that matter, we can't do it with the other vines either. Alright, let's get to work with that oil then, shall we? Ah, a large imposing house stands before you, almost defiantly. You'd love nothing more than to leave its vicinity. Has this man ever used a knife before? Well, it still says it's very sharp, but yeah, looks like we're pretty poor with it. Fountain plaque. On the plaque, there is an engraving of a two-headed eagle, beneath which there's a small hexagonal opening. Statue of a woman holding a bowl above her shoulder appears to be a fountain. It is no longer in working order. Really like the rain effect in this game. Give her the bowl. I'm not sure she wants a bowl. You've no interest in scooping out all that stagnant water in there. You try pulling on the iron gates, but as you feared, it does not budge. Seems we're trapped in here. Check the garage, says Raven. The garage sits to the left of the house. The garage door is closed. It is much too heavy for you to lift on your own. Still want to hook the lump in the pool. It is too far away. We need a way to get extra reach on it, but we were not able to attach the hook to the crowbar. We will need something else. A large wooden board has been nailed across the door, preventing it from being opened on the other side. However, explosive suggests that we crowbar it clean off. There we go. We're now able to make our way back into the main room. So mayhaps we shall oil up that finger. You use the oil on it, but nothing happens. Seems we do not yet have a way forward there. Maniac Mansion logic says, check those bushes. Ah, good old Maniac Mansion. I find it very hard to orientate this this house. No, the knife did not work on the finger. Apparently we didn't get the purchase needed. Large imposing house, but nothing of note with the bushes there. Alright, well let's go somewhere that we haven't been at all so far, and that's some of the rooms upstairs. We have attic and we have doors on the right. Also, correct me if I'm incorrect. Were we chased out of this room? Pretty sure we already checked it. We haven't tried beating the finger with the crowbar. They should never give you crowbars in games like these. You just want to crowbar everything. Doors on the right, says explosive. The door does not turn. There's no keyhole. The door must be locked from the inside. There's an eeriness about the pitch black playroom, once a place of merriment, as evidenced by the many toys. Something was drawn on the wall with red and blue crayon, but it looks like a jumbled mess. Crayons are scattered on the floor, most are worn down and broken. There's a bulky remote-controlled truck with big wheels motionless on the floor, and wait, what's that? Journal entry 14. No, I said the kids seem worse. She begs me to take them to the doctor. She's wrong. She's always wrong. I know they'll be fine. I'll just give them some tea. They'll get better. There's a huge stuffed bear here, propped up against the wall. Its eyes seem fixated on us. An ordinary ceiling. You thought you saw this wooden horse rocking and moving, but it sits motionless in the darkness. Some wooden building blocks are here. A large toy box is here, overflowing with toys, and a creepy doll with black beady eyes, lifelike hair. You can feel something hard inside of it. Dirty wooden boards are nailed across the window. The moonlight cannot get in. Knife the bear, says Selix. I want the knife to work on something. You use the knife, but nothing happens. Knife the doll. It'd be easier to do that if you pick the doll up first. You take the doll, you take the knife, you stick the rusty knife into the doll's stomach, ripping it open. Inside you find a small aluminium key amongst the stuffing. A small feather-lit aluminium crank. The more we know. Seems there's nothing else going on here. Explosive wants us to return to the kids' room. Maybe it's for the music box. How quaint. Inside there's a pair of red-tinted glasses. We take them. Folded cardboard eyeglasses with red plastic lenses. Fascinating! The masked figure suddenly appears in front of you. You begin quaking with fear in his terrifying presence. What do we do, chat? Where do we go, or what do we apply to this thing? Crowbar the man and bolt. Alright. Use the crowbar on Scary Man. You strike him. Blind him with the flashlight. He seems uninterested in the lit flashlight. Alright, let's skedaddle. Suddenly you regain your composure. Perhaps you managed to lose them. Seems like that's a good combo right there. Smack him with the crowbar and leg it. Anyway, we now have ourselves some really radical cardboard eyeglasses. Anyone remember having those? I think I got some free in the Beano back in the day. Use the red tinted glasses on the toy room scribbles, says Starchy. We did indeed see some scribbles here. And would you look at that? We memorize the scribbles. Directions you copied from the scribbles drawn on the playroom wall. What could they all mean? Who knows? Well, only other place we haven't been to up here is up into the attic. This dark attic seems to have been forgotten in time. Dust covers every inch of the floor and cobwebs choke the rafters overhead. And also there's silence. Blue thing on the ground. It is journal entry number 3. Getting these very out of order. June 20th, I saw Cheryl sticking one of my pool cues in the pool today. I shouted, honey, that's not how you play pool, thinking some humor might hide my irritation. Turns out she had attached something to the end of it to fish out a necklace that had dropped in. I just wish she hadn't used one of my expensive cues for that. Damn right, cues get warped by water. Destroyed Higgins' cue lately. Crowbar the trunk. That crowbar's got to be useful for something. You try to pry the lock off, but it doesn't budge. You smash it. It still does not yield. A large wooden chest sits here, but it is locked with an antique bronze padlock. In addition, there are various boxes stacked here filled with old, useless junk, an antique rocking chair, more junk, And we have an uneasy feeling from the cluster of mannequins standing silently in the darkness. This man's never been to a gym. We're not playing as a man, although I cannot remember Our Lady's name. Pale moonlight shines in through the windows, casting dim stuff. A layer of dust coats the piano. You know how to play the piano, but you aren't feeling particularly inspired at the moment. Seems pretty empty up here. Could it be that we've hit a dead end, then? I think we've explored everywhere. And these are our items, so there must be something to do, or some interaction to do, that we've not yet done. Chat, lay upon me your ideas, and if you really need a hint, I suppose I could take us to somewhere where I know there's something we haven't done, but can do. But for once it would be the chat begging me for help. Gotta get my jollies somehow. Hints are for cowards, says Young. What is the red blobby thing in the items again? These are the directions that we've memorized, although we don't know what they are directions for. Try the garage door code. Yeah, perhaps we skinned over the garage a little too quickly. Let's head on over there, shall we? There's a button on the wall that you assume is for activating the garage door. We press it, but nothing happens. The garage door is closed, and there's a mechanism that opens and closes the garage door. Upon closer inspection, the motor seems to be broken. Also, somebody wanted me to crowbar this light bulb for some reason. It does nothing. Put a cog inside it. The motor seems to be broken. The cog does not fix it. Concussive maintenance, suggests Lipips. Sacre bleu, it does nothing. Did we check the fridge? Yeah, we've checked all the cupboards in the fridge. Maybe we should oil it up? The oil does nothing. What's in the garage garbage can? This is, I believe, is where we found the note. Oil-soaked rags, scraps of metal, broken appliances. Picking through the trash, you find only junk and ouch, you've cut yourself on rusty scrap metal. Gonna need a tetanus shot now. And the mechanism does not want to be oiled. Gained infection, need honey. We don't have honey. We have a whole load of items, but we've not yet made good use of them. Are those 3D glasses? Can we use them on the dining room art pieces? Ooh, ho, ho, ho. Now we've got a brainiac coming on in. Unfortunately for them, nothing happens. What was that? Trust everybody is currently looking through their notes, trying to figure out what to do from here, as surely they've been attentive the whole way through. Combine the glasses with the red blob. The glasses got us the red blob. Put out the candelabra, and then look. Out it goes. There's still nothing to look at here. Starchy wishes for us to crowbar the cupboard. Which we do. The glass shatters easily. That's one way to open it. And now we've taken an ornamental egg from destroyed china cabinet. Let's have a look, see it. Oh no! The masked figure suddenly appears in front of you. You begin quaking with fear in his terrifying presence. Where's my crowbar? Crowbar and everything, including this guy. If that's what Chefrin suggests, that's what we do. Smack. Oh god, he was ready! No. Seems it won't work every time. Intense pain consumes you. What do we do to deserve such a horrible oh, hey, we're okay. However, now we have this magical egg. An intricate crafted ornamental egg. Giving it a shake reveals a rattle inside. But the egg itself seems to be completely sealed. What should we do? What's this guy's problem? We've been prowling around reading his personal diary. This guy appears every time you find something. There is a reason he appears, Hash. Perhaps your little homework can be figuring out what it is that's causing him to appear. Oh, well, Dark Young just immediately understands the situation. Alright, crowbar on egg. You use it, but nothing happens. Seems we need a bit more force than a crowbar can give. Alright, where to and what to do now, chat? We have indeed missed some things so far, but can you figure out what? Spoon and the egg. What, we're gonna do a egg and spoon race? I'm afraid nothing happens. Egg the lions. Boy, what a mess we've made. Nothing on the first lion, nothing on the second lion, and diddly squat on the fourth lion. Of course, this lion right here already has the jewel inside it. Is there a pool table? The note hinted at someone using a pool cue. Maybe get a hook access. We have not found a pool table. We have a locked hatch down here. We have a copper lock keeping us out of the shed. We have a bolted in motor on the lawnmower. We have the dog that we want to exhume, maybe. We have some vines that we cannot cut here. The knife is insufficient. There is indeed a locked room on the upstairs. This thing wants some kind of hexagonal opening filled in. But what do we do now? Well, I didn't actually know we could go in there, so I'm glad I clicked on that. We have another room. Alright, let's take a look around. Various trophies and awards are on display in the shelf here. The years have tarnished their luster. But what is that? Journal entry number 10. One of the landscapers showed me something unusual. He pointed out a patch of strange tendrils that were growing up from the ground where I buried Baxter 2 weeks ago. I have no idea what they were. I noticed a pungent and familiar smell. They smell a lot like my tea. There's a pool cue on the hook. Take the pool cue. The pool cue is mine. A long and sturdy cue for playing pool. Perhaps we could play a bit of pool. It's not really the time for games. There's also an old-fashioned coin-operated jukebox with various vinyl records inside. Also a golden lock and handle on a door on the left that is locked. Pool cue with the hook. Very well. Would you look at that? You tape the hook onto the end of the pool, creating a long hooked pole. And people want us to go and hook that body. Alright, let's go fishing. You pull the object closer. It's surprisingly heavy as you get closer. You realize it is a corpse. The jacket on the bloated corpse reveals that they worked for a lawn care company, and a copper key is clipped to their belt. Skin crawls, but that copper key is now ours. The copper key is rather ordinary looking. Got a plastic keychain. Whatever was written on it has worn off. What are we to do? Onwards to the shed, says Salix. Onwards we go. The copper key turns the lock on the shed's door, and this creaky wooden door swings wide open. Small confines of this wooden shed feel cramped and claustrophobic. The wood dust seems to cover every surface in this tiny space. There's a lot to take in here, chat. What do we... Oh, God! The masked figure has suddenly appeared. Time to leg it. And with your heart pounding in your chest, you duck behind a large bush and cover your mouth, hoping to hide. Just make garden bush noises until he goes away. Whew, after what feels like an eternity, you hear them turn around and leave. Despite your fear, you survived. Damn this creaky door. And finally, we can exhume Baxter with the shovel in hand. Very well then, let us take the shovel. Y2K wants us to take the garden shears. Heavy-duty pair of head shearers. Very well. We've seen that missed button press. I just wanted you to know what happens when I miss. Nothing, because I'm too good. Red Raven wants us to knife the sandbag. How did you know it was a sandbag? Oh, very well then. Let's give it a shanking. You slice the sack open. Dirt cascades onto the floor, but there's something shiny in the dirt. A bronze key. Very well, let us take it. Green thing on the table, says Orlov. There's a flathead screwdriver, the plastic handle. Let's have it. Also, wait, what's that? Journal entry number 11. Let's have a look-see. No matter how many times we get rid of the tendrils, they keep coming back. It's some sort of fungus, I'm told. A friend gave me a recipe for a treatment that is said to get rid of all manners of mold and fungi by killing it at the root. I typed it into my computer so I wouldn't lose it. Didn't forget the wrench, says Orlov. An ordinary wrench, useful for tightening or loosening bolts. Let's take it. Also in this room, there is some kind of strange growth emerging from the back wall and a vise attached to the workbench. Can you open the vise? The vise operates smoothly and could be used to hold or even crush something. Isaac, showing off their space engineering skills, says that we should vise the egg. In it goes, and out comes a golden key. This gold-plated key is nice enough to be a piece of jewelry. Perhaps it has a more practical use. Oil the lawnmower. Use the wrench, says Red Raven. We do have a lawnmower here to use. Let's oil her up. You use the oil in the lawnmower, but nothing happens. Okay, how about that wrench then? Using the wrench and a little bit of elbow grease, you work the rusty bolts off and manage to pull the motor out. We now own a lawnmower motor. Gold key on the door in the pool room. Very well. Also, while we're en route, Dark Young wants us to fix the motor with that. Done like dinner. Using your wrench, you remove the broken motor from the garage door mechanism and install the other one with the lawnmower. And just like that, the garage door pops wide open. Oh dear. It's Masked Man. Maybe we can give him the slip. With your heart pounding in your chest, you duck behind the house plant. Of all the places here, you go behind the house plant. Whew. No pressure, yeah, I don't feel any pressure. I'm not the one who has to think here. You guys do the thinking. I just do the doing. Use the golden key on the golden door, and it unlocks. Judging by the size of the spacious room and the furniture within, this must be none other than the master bedroom. You can mess up only twice, Dark Young. 3 mess-ups, and you eat the knife. Remove the chair on the door, says Explosive. The chair is pushed up against the door, blocking it from this side. Away it goes. What's in the bed? Asks Pancakes. Your heart leaps in your throat as you realize there's someone under the covers. But it's only a mannequin. The mannequin lies silently on the bed. You wish you could talk to it. But it is not time for a nap. Diary, points out Explosive. We do indeed have a diary entry here. Diary entry number 12. This weekend I randomly started breaking out in hives. There are itchy bumps all over my arms and face. I put some algae on them. Seems to have helped a little. Anything behind the Resident Evil 4 painting? There's a large landscape painting here and it's slightly crooked. Behind it, there is a safe. Behind the picture, there's a safe in the wall with a combination lock, but we do not know the combination. And since someone is going to tell me to do it, let's try and use the crowbar on the safe. Nada. Use the combination on the lock. Ooh. I'm afraid those were not safe combinations. That's right, Ruthven. This is the 41st game in UFO 50, I think. And it is one of my favorites of the lot, if not my absolute favorite. Which is why I'm not the one playing. I already know the solutions. It is up to chat to figure this out, not me. Have we checked all the drawers? Well, let's have a look-see. We find private but unremarkable items. There's a loose page that we take. Page 15. They didn't make it. As we know, 15 follows 14, and this is when the children were sick. The children didn't make it. The bookcase, says Red. Yes, there's a bookcase here. Various books, knickknacks, statuettes on the shelf. None appear to be particularly useful, nor can we take it. Of course, there's also this here. Just a vanity closet with nothing in particular. And of course, there is out to here. Cool night breeze sweeps over you in the balcony. Over the metal railing, you see the garden below. Cut the rope on the balcony. A rope is tied tightly around the railing here. Something heavy is hanging from the other end. You tried cutting the rope with a knife, but it is too thick. Well, we have another cutting implement. You try cutting the rope with the hedge shears, but it's too thick. Kick the ladder. Flip a latch, trapdoor springs down, the ladder drops down with it. There's a page on the table. Journal entry 16 is mine. It always screaming. Noise, noise, noise. Keep it in room with door. Lock to stop me from hear it. Now it not feel well. I make tea for it. It must drink the tea. Can you check the bird bath? Inside the standing metal ashtray, it's coated with ash. We take the cigar butt. This expensive-looking cigar has been partially smoked. Its tobacco is still fresh enough to emit a sweet fragrance. Plant is doing well for itself, if only by the virtue of being outside. We have now connected this area back with our starting location. Untie the knot? Nope. Can't think to untie it, and it's simply too heavy. There were 2 doors here. One takes us back out into the landing area. Where are we in that situation? Ah, yes, here's our room. And here's another room, a quiet room lined with bookshelves and the stale odor of old books. It's an ideal place to get some work done. Diary. Bottom right says explosive. Number 6 is ours. It's a very early one. Cheryl and I got into an argument over the kids drawing on the walls in their playroom. She thinks that they're just expressing their creativity. But who will have to repaint the walls? Me. And it was me that Becky came crying to because Charlie had scribbled over something important that she wrote on the wall. Aren't kids great? However, we've already solved that scribbling on the wall puzzle by using our fancy goggles. It's got to be a hidden door bookcase, right? A dominant genre in the dusty bookcase appears to be true crime thrillers. Tales from Zoldath. Ooh, that UFO 50 plug. Pulling on the book, we reveal a hidden passageway. What's the key on the shelf? Well, that was the key, assuming that's what you meant. Unless you meant this, a magnifying glass. A powerful magnifying lens in an antique pewter handle. Check the bowl-looking thing under the table. I imagine that was that. There's something on the rug on the left side. Nothing there, I'm afraid. Although there is little dusty bits down there, no doubt. The magnifying glass in the kids' bedroom dollhouse. We'll get right on that. We have the power. Holding up the magnifying glass, you're able to read the tiny print on the dollhouse, the word Lancelot. You make a note. The O in Lancelot is a 0. Do we check the computer? There's a state-of-the-art home computer on the desk here. Something like this must have cost thousands of dollars. You turn on the computer to a series of beeps. On the black screen, there is a glowing text requesting a login password. There's a cabinet stacked with old computer games by the Alex Systems. They seem fun, but now is not the time for games. Is that the password? Is it indeed? There we go. We type in Lancelot. Login successful. You managed to access the computer with the password. You're familiar with its interface because of a computer class you once took. Can we open up Paint? Look in the trash, says Starchy. I am reading chat. You click on the trash, revealing a file inside it. Fungicide. Mix peroxide, tea tree oil, and tobacco leaf. Pour over any fungus to kill it. You make a note of this. Peroxide, tea tree oil, and tobacco leaf. Unfortunately, the system is otherwise unresponsive. Put the cigar in the bowl. Yes, we did find one of those ingredients, it seems. There we go. Following the recipe, we add a cigar butt into the bowl. Any kind of oil on hand? Well, we have this oil. Not so sure that's what we want, though. Nada. Use a spoon on the bowl. You're hungry, but you're not that hungry. Can we look at the ship? We can look at a few things. Finely crafted model of a ship in a bottle. The HMS Endeavour is engraved in the stand. There's a globe here. You spin it, it rotates smoothly. We can't take the ship, though. A small green glass vial, liquid, very pungent but pleasant aroma. The label reads tea tree oil. There's a portrait painting of a distinguished-looking person that you do not recognize, and a very comfortable chair to sit and read in. Crowbar the ship, crowbar the globe. Crowbar the ship, crowbar the globe. Grab that oil. We take the tea tree oil, slash the chair. Nothing happens. Tea tree oil into the bowl. Very well. Now we're just shy one ingredient. I think we've had our fill here. What's behind the secret passageway? Apart from some blood and broken glass, this bathroom looks clean and untouched compared to the rest of the house. There's an overgrown with mold towel, a roll of toilet paper, slimy black sludge in an otherwise ordinary toilet. Glass door of this walk-in shower is broken with dried bloody handprints on the surface. Blood and broken glass. You open up the cabinets and find various toiletries. There's a bottle of peroxide. Catches your eye, you take it. Otherwise, there's diddly squat here. The sink is built into the countertop. There's an X scratched onto the surface of this large vanity mirror. Put the peroxide into the bowl. Very well, then. We've got it. We mixed all the ingredients together in a bowl, creating a strange concoction. Y2K wants us to apply crowbar to the X. You smash the crowbar into the mirror and it shatters, revealing something written on the wall behind it. The mirror has been shattered with the numbers 2298 written on the wall in permanent marker. You make note of this. Ooh, but the masked figure appears. We quake in fear in his terrifying presence. Where should we go or what should we smack him with? Can you combine the glasses with the torch and make some kind of black light? Use fungus on the man. Alright, fungicide, help me out here. He seems uninterested in the fungicide. Well, ain't we in trouble? Quick chat, where do we go? Ah, he's still after us. Apply toxin to the knife and slash him. Okay, off to the garden. Beans it. Too busy quaking in fear of his terrifying presence. Ah, suddenly you regain your composure. Perhaps you managed to lose them. Alright, chat, we have quite the variety of items. But where do we go and what do we do? Of note, we now have this sequence of numbers, a bronze key, some unused heavy-duty shears. Don't think we used the flathead screwdriver. While we're out here, let's cut those vines. Very well. We notice 2 places with overgrown vines. You diligently clip away the vines, none remain. There's a sliding door now. And we use it on the metal box. And what's in the box? A rusty hacksaw. Although rusty, this hacksaw's blade is still very sharp to the touch. Time to dig up Fido, says Calmist. Alright, let us exhume the dog. Needs must. Inside the hole are the skeletal remains of what appear to be an animal of some sort. A worn leather collar inscribed Baxter. A steel key is attached to the collar. Also, combatants are here. Red Raven wants us to saw off the finger that we found earlier. The madness. There we go. You saw through the corpse's dry, leathery flesh with a sickening grate. Eventually the finger comes off, bearing the ring with it. A hexagonal face of this large ring is flat and extruded. The relief of a two-headed eagle clasping a snake in its talons. Explosive insists that we use this ring on the fountain. How about I also remember the way out of here? You push the ring into the opening, something clinks. The water quickly drains from the fountain, and we own now a shiny green object. It's an emerald. What to now? Feed it to the lions. Don't tempt me with a good time. In we go. Alright, 2 lions down, 2 to go. What to do now? Where do we get the rest of those Chaos Emeralds? Use the hacksaw on the hatch in the garden. Old bulkhead is weathered, but stiff enough to keep us out. Unfortunately, the hacksaw is insufficient at getting through it. Oh yeah, use the key that we have on the hatch. That is also insufficient. This key is minuscule in comparison to the rusty iron padlock. It does nothing to turn the lock. Maybe we could try the hacksaw on the rope. Well, now there's a plan and a half. Gotta remember that that's where we come in, following that pathway. There we go, we cut the rope with a hacksaw and hear the thud of something hitting the ground below. You can't rip the cloth open with your bare hands, and the rope is tied too tightly to undo. Morbidly, you wonder, what's inside? The bundle that once hung from the balcony now lays on the ground. It's wrapped in thick cloth and bound tightly with a rope. Red Raven wants us to knife it open. There we go. We cut through, we slice through the cloth, we rip the bundle open, and inside is a corpse clasping tightly onto a gleaming yellow stone. A radiant yellow gemstone that reflects a golden glint. Yellowstone, feed it to the lions. Alright, let us feed yet another item to the lions. 3 out of 4. What now? Quite a few ideas coming in. Red Raven wants to go to the shed and use some fungicide. There was indeed a shed here. There was indeed a weird, strange growth here. Let's try our luck. You use the fungicide, but nothing happens. Were we lied to? The code must be the safe code. Alright, let's check it out. You try the number code you found, the lock clicks, it pops open, revealing a white gem. The diamond is now ours. The fungicide is to the door outside the starting room. Let's give it a go-go. So as we recall, infested with some kind of fungus and there are mushrooms growing out of it. Let's give it a try. Use the fungicide on the wooden door, but nothing happens. Got a bum deal on this fungicide. To the lions! It is lion feeding time. When is it ever not lion feeding? Holy Christ. I didn't imagine that, did I? Oh, God. I don't like what's going on. You hear a metal click. The gate before you slowly swings open with a creak. Oh my, the walls of this hedge maze stretch high above. Where do we go in the hedge maze, chat? Something must be up with the fungicide. Maybe we alter the recipe. Use that red piece of paper, suggests Dark Young. Very well. Gets us through, no problem. The maze gives way to a clearing where a solitary statue is something in the hedge walls. A quiet stillness hangs in the air. Stone statue of a hooded figure. And they have a crossbow bolt. Seems that's our lot here. Well now, armed with what we have, what do we do? We have the crossbow bolt. We have a bunch of things. Weird, we didn't get attacked when the gate creaked. Must have been all that silent creaking. Use the shovel on the padlock, says Baron. Sure enough, this door does not want to open, does it? But nope, the shovel is still not opening that bulkhead. I think we need the giant key. It mentions the steel key being far too small. We also have several unused items currently. The cog, the fungicide. We did use that oil. What we do, however, have is a bronze key with modern designs. What does one do with a bronze key? Cylinder suggests that we use this bronze key on the padlock. However, the key is minuscule in comparison to the rusty iron padlock. It does nothing to turn it. Could we use the small key in the lawnmower? We just took the engine out of the lawnmower, so no. Bronze key to the chest in the attic, says Floppy. Sure enough. You remembered the attic. Very good. We'd only been there once. It pops it right open, and now we own a crossbow. I think. No, we didn't take it yet. Yoink. And no prizes for guessing what goes together here. The crossbow is loaded and ready for action. Fungicide the bolt. Fungicide the bolt, eh? You use the fungicide in the armed crossbow, but nothing happens. Load the crossbow and shove the bolt up the enemy's face. Well, next time we see it, we'll be sure to do that. Try Baxter's key on the car, says Sheep. Sure enough, we have not found a use for the key yet. But why would a dog need a car key? The layout of this house is mad. The key unlocks the car door and you open it. It beckons you inside. Time to go home. You thrust the car key into the ignition, turn it quickly, and the car starts up. This might be your only chance of getting out of here alive. Do you take it? Not my decision to make, chat. What'll it be? An overwhelming lack of desire to leave, unless your name is Orlov. We will not leave just yet. Oh my! But the masked figure suddenly appears. We quake with fear in his terrifying presence. Bob Sickle makes the intention clear. The ugly must die. Alright, Uggo. This has been a long freaking time coming. Your trembling finger pulls the trigger. The crossbow fires the bolt right into the eye hole of the man's mask. He screams and collapses. After making sure he's not moving, you search his body and find a rusty iron key. Ooh, very old, rusty, and worn. What do we do with this iron key? Time to get to the basement. Use the iron key on the hatch. Very well. Pops open the bulkhead, and down we go. Wires and ventilation ducts hang overhead in this dismal basement, doing little to relieve the sweet, pungent musk permeating here. All documents are here. There's a fuse box, and indeed a diary piece. Diary piece 17. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 17. Light hurt. Hide light. Head hurt. More bumps on face. Light hurt. Bombs hurt. Doctor, drink more. More tea to feel. Bye, wife. Bye, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Check the washer. Check the dryer. The washer and dryer both sit crookedly against the wall, covered in years' worth of dirt, dust, and rotten feces? Oh, rodent feces. It is empty, it is stale, it is musty. There's a long-gone animal nest inside. There are mushrooms growing out of this musty mound of clothing that is piled up haphazardly. You wouldn't dream of touching it. The parallels aren't with Maniac Mansion Hyper. I think it's a parallel with the likes of Uninvited or Shadowgate. Fungus poison on the pile. No, nothing happens. I gotta say, this fungicide's been a bit of a poor job. There we go. We opened the sliding lock, and the door that people wanted to open with fungicide for a while was simply opened from the other side. Can we crowbar the door on the right? Let's have a look-see. A thick, heavy metal door that somehow looks older than the house itself. Equally thick metal bar keeps it tightly sealed. Can we crowbar that open? Not at all. There's a rusty metal box with a lever coming out of it on the side. The front of the box is a panel that's held on by screws. There are wires that are severed and a lever. Can we pop this bad boy open? Dark Young wants us to use a screwdriver. Open it is. The panel has a set of gears, but upon closer inspection you realize that one of the gears is missing. So we got gears and we got wires. Ali wants us to use the cog right in here. Metal Gear. You pull the lever, but it doesn't budge an inch. It's rusted in place. Let us oil the cogs then. There we go. We pull it easily, but nothing happens. There are broken wires. So we need to get our hands on something with which to fix the wires. Use the spoon on the wire. No such luck. It does not appear that we have any kind of tool that will work here. So what, pray tell, have we missed in this mansion? Just hold the wires together with your bare hands. Touching the top wire gives you a small shock. If there was a way to connect the torn wires, you could possibly wire the box. Call a trained professional. It's 1980 something. 88, I think. Highly unlikely that we have a mobile phone. Check the fuse box. Only some of the fuses are intact, the rest are burnt out. You don't have any fuses to replace the burnt out ones. You don't really want to mess with the ones that haven't. No, it seems we're out of luck here. We've missed something. What have we missed? Rake around your head, chat. What have we not done in this mansion? We still need to fix some wiring. Have we tried just burning the cursed mansion down entirely? Well, wait until we see the ending. What have we not done? Shovel down the blocked entrance. There's no reason to dig there. The doorway is completely jammed with bags of smelly garbage. Have we found a kitchen? We have certainly found a living room. We have certainly found... Did something just move back there? I'm gonna have to check the vault. I am certain something moved there. We already killed the guy in the mask. Yeah, we've already been and done the kitchen. Can we smash up the TV and take its wiring? Ah, now Young's thinking with his blood. Oh, hang on, where was the TV room? I get so lost in this layout. There we go. There's our TV. Crowbar the TV. Use the crowbar, but nothing happens. Knife the TV. Nope. Unscrew the TV? No. Wrench the TV? More no. Yeah, the glasses have been used to get ourselves the passageway through the hedge maze. Yeah, we solved the kid's scribbles. That was used with the plastic lenses here. Maybe you can use the shovel on the pile behind the clock. Can we find fuses in the garage? Alright, let's try those. Nope, there's no reason to dig there. That's the same pile of garbage that we saw earlier, and we also said no, we're not going to bother with it. There's air here, but nope, there are no fuses for us to get. What was on the post-it note? The post-it note says, lost his mind. Why? Who could have written this? Who knows? If I had to guess, it was Cheryl. There was a question about that door right there. Simply takes us into the kids' room, where we already solved the puzzle with the little dollhouse. Cut the lamp wire in the garage. You want me to just cut the wire there? No. Smash the computer. What you're missing is here. What have we not done here? Other than not watch the telly. Yeah, the grandfather clock gave us the cog that we used on the machine in the basement. Check the picture. We had a look at this picture. It shows a... Oh. Man's face has been torn out of what once looked like a picture of a happy family. We already killed him, so what is going on here? Can you move the painting? No, there's nothing but cobwebs behind. Can you slice up the pillows, says Red Raven. You use the knife on the couch, but nothing happens. However, you move the couch cushions away and reveal a few coins among the balls of lint where the cushions once were. An assortment of coins that were found in the couch, including pennies, nickels, and dimes. What could this possibly do? Red 7 remembers well that there was a jukebox upstairs. Let's juke. A sentimental song begins to play, and a sheet of paper falls out from underneath. What a nice wee room he has here. Would if I could. Sheet music for composition that you cannot pronounce, but you could probably play. Krochnin insists that we should play Dance Dance Revolution. Kind of a setup for doing that. Would need some better ventilation, though. Not boarded up windows. The attic piano. Alright, let's do this. Well, what happens here? A long steel wire snaps out of the piano. And I'm certain that would have spawned Man with Mask if we hadn't shot him in the face. And Krochner says, we have our wire. Use that wire on the locked door. Let's get right on it. Alright, there we go. Using the piano wire, you tie the damaged wires together. Spark of electricity zaps your fingers. You pull the lever easily. The gears begin turning, and the bar across the door slides out easily. Are we ready? Step into a scene that makes your mind reel with horror. An entire room covered in various manifestations of pulsating fungi. This disgusting pustule looks like it's about to explode. A throbbing mass is at the center of the chaos. It wheezes and sighs as clouds of spores fill the air around it. Spoon on the fungi, says Y2K. Let's dig right in. You use the spoon on a pustule, but nothing happens. You gag at the thought. Well, we could drink the fungicide, but surely we could use something else here. Crowbar it. Now we're thinking. All right, Red, let's grab that crowbar. Attacking the mass causes it to wince and wail, but then it quickly resumes its awful wheezing. All right, Baron insists that we spoon feed it some fungicide. Here you go. Pouring the fungicide onto the wall, it begins shrieking violently, emitting a high-pitched sound. You run outside. And there's your fire. Faint cries drowned out by the crackle of the flames. They warm you as you watch the house burn. The nightmare is over. Three bad dreams in the night manor. Also, you might notice something is very wrong right now. Very wrong indeed. That is your punishment for ever taking a death in the run. You become the horror. The gems, we forgot the gem. I should have ran back, grabbed the gems, at least had something for our troubles. Alright, that was Night Manor. Not only was it Night Manor, that was a full cherry on Night Manor. If you just drive off without burning the house down, you beat the game, but for the cherry, you need to burn the whole house down. A little under 2 hours, with 3 bad dreams. Just in case you're marginally curious, I think I have a run here that's deathless. Can you perfect speedrun it? I don't see why not. This is just right at the very end once more. And if you do this deathless, you know, which we would have done if chat hadn't made such terrible decisions, you simply make a clean break. No nasty pustules. Easy money. Great game. Is it my favorite in all of UFO 50? I don't know. Overbold is really good. I do really like Velgress. Bushido Ball is so cool. I even came around on Hotfoot. Then again, Rock on Island. There's so many cool games here. Even the Brazilian game Kick Club. Gosh, I don't know. But anyway, our focus today was Night Manor, the one spooky game in the collection. I really liked it. An excellent callback to the likes of Shadowgate, Uninvited. Maybe a trickle of Maniac Mansion there. It was a bit of a gruesome game. Certainly would have warned today. Warning in 1988. But that's our first of what I have so far, 6 spooky games. Will it be more? Will it be less? Don't know, it depends how quickly we get through some of them. But that's our short and sweet one for tonight. I will be back tomorrow at roughly the same time. And according to my schedule, we're going to have Fears to Fathom, Home Alone. So until I'm back with that, so cheers and cheerio.